Now it's time to break it.
And we're back! Woo! Welcome to SplitScreeners Podcast, where we talk movies, sports, video games, and other stuff we love.
In this episode, we're starting something new. This is going to be a new weekly thing where we think of something and we discuss our top 10s for a certain topic. We're starting this week off with live-action video game movies. Obviously, this is because we just all went and saw Uncharted, or at least 3 out of 4 of us went and saw Uncharted this past weekend. So that spurred us to do this. But, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff out there that we could do lists on. I mean, we could do actors, directors, different types of movies. We do video games, sports, all kinds of stuff. So this is something that we'll start doing every week. And
is this supposed? I'm sorry, because I also want to know to make sure. Is this meant to be like a quick video, or is this a long?
It depends on how
as long as it needs to take.
I'd say up to like 25 minutes, maybe.
Maybe an hour.
Jesus.
But we are your hosts, Zach, Aaron, Gavin. I'm Nick.
Welcome back.
Number 10.
Favorite energy drink.
Favorite energy drink? Monster Mango.
That's a good one. It's fucking good. Red Bull. But I drink a lot of
Red
Monster
Bull.
Mango.
The Uber
In
Monster.
fact, this was
Uber Monster.
their new Monster Mango without juice and sugar-free.
I'm also going Red Bull.
Red Bull.
Alright.
Hell yeah.
Well, let's get right into it. We'll just make a circle each time. Number 10, Zachary.
Oh, just a second. One.
Oh my gosh. You were supposed to be ready.
Prince of Persia, Sands of Time.
Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal. Not the greatest movie, but when you're talking about video game movies, you kind of have to take the bar down a little bit.
You do. That's something I do big time here.
Same.
Unfortunately. Almost made my list. It was Tomb Raider. That would have been number 11.
The
With,
newer one, 2016.
Yep, Alicia Vanderkamp, I think is her name.
Vikander?
Vikander. I fell asleep on that one, so that didn't make the list. But yeah, Prince of Persia. Going on.
Wing Commander. Matthew Lillard, Freddie Prinze Jr. I'm the only one that's seen it.
Yeah, I never seen it.
Yeah, or heard of it.
And actually, I don't even know if it was a video game now that I think of it.
I didn't see it on my list, but
Yeah.
I saw it on my list.
I've heard of Wing Commander, the video game, I think.
I feel like
I feel like
I have
it was
heard
a
of
video
Wing Commander,
game.
the video game.
No,
I'm pretty
the
sure it
movie-
was.
The original thing and the game came out afterwards? or?
Nah, it's got to be based on the game. Mid-90s. I don't know. It's not a great movie.
So this was Freddie Prinze and Matthew Lillard's first role before they did Scooby-Doo together.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's cool.
A couple years early. It was probably
I like both those
94.
I do too.
Yeah, they're both good actors. And they were good in it, but it's not a great movie.
Far Cry. I think it was made in like 2000.
Something.
8, 2009?
Shit. Not
No, it was later than
I
that.
thought it was earlier than that.
I think it is.
I thought it was because the first Far Cry game
I don't
came out in
know, it
2003. Far Cry movie. Oh, damn you.
Dates aren't important, though.
2008. It's a movie.
It was technically a
What's
movie.
the movie?
I will say this. Just the action on its own, it was alright.
I mean, it's better than Far Cry 6.
Yes. Yeah. 100%. Cats was better than Far Cry 6.
Oh, yeah, Cats is good.
Yeah.
Far Cry 6 sucks. Oh, you agreeing with me finally?
No.
God
He's
damn.
coming around.
He's like, Far Cry
I
6 sucks.
just got bored of it.
Exactly. I beat that game.
Number
10.
9.
Number 10.
God.
Oh,
Don't
you.
forget, Nick.
Doom.
Doom.
Again, as you said, you have to kind of lower your bar, especially because as I was looking through this list, there were a lot of things that I hadn't seen, and I didn't want to throw 4 Resident Evil movies on there because I've seen all of those. But so I went with Doom. Don't like The Rock as an actor, really. We've talked about that before on this podcast. This movie is god-awful, but
This is his worst role.
I'll give it that. And it is a movie where they tried to explore the...
forgetting that Scorpion King exists.
That's a
You take that
fantastic
back,
movie.
sir.
Horrible movie.
But we're talking video game movies.
Oh, okay.
Scorpion
And as
King.
good as The Rock is in this movie, it wasn't enough to save it from being bad.
I mean, they did try their hand at a first-person.
The first-person
sequence.
shooter cam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give them that.
They tried.
Okay,
It sucked.
it wasn't a video game, but do you remember that first-person shooter movie they made?
Yeah.
Can't remember what the fuck
I
it was
remember
called.
what you're talking about.
I
Came
wa-
out like
I
2000.
I watched it.
Yeah.
It was a
think.
cool idea. It kind of sucked. It might kind of mean it did, but I
Something,
watched.
something Henry or something like that.
Something Henry.
Yeah.
We're
Number 9.
Number 9. Mostly because of nostalgia. Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Great movie.
That is a
Really
movie.
cheesy acting, plot, CGI's all over the place.
reused shots. A death is reused twice for 2 different characters.
I mean, it's not as bad as Highlander 2 and reused shots, but
yeah, there might not be as many reused shots.
um,
There were too many.
But as a huge Mortal Kombat fan, all 3 Mortal Kombat movies had to be on my list. So
Alright, I hate it. Number 9.
Uncharted.
it did make the list.
I figured because I had so few to make 10, it would make my list somewhere.
If you want to hear our opinions on Uncharted, watch the movie episode that's coming up this week. What are you doing?
Or maybe already out. I have no clue.
Exactly. And how we rate it as our favorite movie of all time. Just kidding.
Or are we?
Maybe Cats made it.
Cats did make it.
Ugh.
You know, I'm putting Cats on my list simply because I wish it was a video game.
Me too.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Number 9.
I don't have tons of choices. I did remember that I have seen one of the Resident Evil movies, the very first one. So
Yeah.
I'm putting that as my number 9. I remember enjoying it, because that's the one that has liquors in it, isn't it? With the tongue motherfuckers.
Yeah, it does, but
Yeah. I was like, not a great movie,
Are any of them a great movie?
but it is better than Far Cry.
not wrong.
So it's at 9.
Number 9 for me. I'm with Gavin in that franchise. I'm going Resident Evil Apocalypse, which is the second one. I had to look
Third.
through and I think it's
is it the second?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to look through and try and remember which ones I liked the most. I think this was my favorite one. None of them were great,
No.
but I feel like one of them had to make the list. Like I said, I think I saw pretty much all of them. So,
Yeah.
wish I had seen Welcome to Raccoon City before we did this.
We
Kind
started
of watched
it. It didn't look great.
I mean,
We weren't
I had my-
focused on it,
I had
though.
my back to the screen
Yeah.
for most of it.
And I didn't see much of it, but it didn't look great.
Number 8,
Number 8, I have Assassin's Creed. Came out 2016.
Michael Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender. You know, I can appreciate what they were trying to do with this movie. The new style Animus pissed me off.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy this more than Prince of Persia. And it had better CGI than Annihilation. So, yeah.
What doesn't?
Do you know what's frustrating about the whole Animus thing? It gives them a plot device that allows them to do whatever the fuck they want, and they still make a shitty fucking movie.
Yeah.
That's what they're good at.
Like literally, you could put anybody, you could just put some random motherfucker in the Animus and be like, oh shit, this motherfucker was an assassin during Egypt.
Oh shit, Isekai.
Oh shit, Isekai. Exactly.
Aaron, number 8.
Number 8, Double Dragon. Angelina Jolie
God, you're old.
and a
Just kidding.
couple other actors. I think she's the only name in the movie.
Ralph Macchio.
I wish. That would have been good.
I didn't know this was based off a video game. I don't think I've ever seen this movie. If I did, it was a long, long time ago. But
Well, then we will be watching it soon. It is.
Add it to the list.
It is a terrible.
you just made the list.
It's one of those so bad it's pretty funny to watch.
Yeah, we like those movies.
We do.
around here.
Cats.
Number 8.
For 8, it's like I know where my like 7-Up is.
Yeah, my 7-Up were.
Not sponsored by 7-Up.
But it could be.
It's up to you.
Make 7.
Make the
up
right
yours.
choice, 7-Up.
Honestly, I'm aware of how
I think
bad
it's
video,
really cool.
video game movies can be,
It's
so I
one
haven't
of them. I
watched
don't
a
know
lot
which
of them.
Yeah.
That's really where I'm getting caught up on here. Because, like, I feel like I've seen one of the Hitman movies, but I also feel like that might have just been one of the Hitman games
Been a fever dream.
or a fever dream. So we'll just put Hitman for number 8 because I need something there.
Okay. Number 8. Just like Aaron said in the last round, Uncharted. It makes my list just because I haven't seen a lot of video game movies. And if you want to see our opinions on the Uncharted movie, check out the movie episode that came out some point this week. Number 7, Zach.
Number 7. I like kaiju movies. I like The Rock. I put Rampage.
Rampage.
It's a disgrace to Rampage.
Never actually played the game, the arcade game or the console game. I just thought it was kind of a fun, smash them up, destroy the city kind of game. Or movie.
That is, but do they actually do that in the movie?
Yeah, there's a lot of...
Does the gorilla?
Yeah.
Does Lizzie?
Does Lizzie
Lizzie
make an appearance?
flies.
No.
Why would Lizzie fly?
I don't know. He's a mutant.
Do they,
Lizzie's a woman.
I
do
don't
they
know.
stand on the side of the building holding it like this and kick the building?
Do they pick people
That's
up
the best
and
way
eat
to
them?
break the buildings.
Possibly. It's been a while. That was the wolf that flew.
Yeah, do they pick up people and throw them up in the air and eat them?
Possibly. It's been a while. Like I said, it's been...
Zach, the game had no plot, anything, and it couldn't even stick to that.
The movie had barely any plot.
Well, yeah, it's a rock movie.
A mutagen lost by the government gets in the hands of 3 animals.
Lizzie.
Alligator, a monkey, and a wolf.
Oh, see.
In the game, you're a human that turns into a giant animal.
Yeah.
That's an ape, you buffoon.
Yeah. And on top of that, if you
So you're telling me the movie just has animals that turn into bigger
And
animals?
The Rock,
I was like,
one of the greatest actors of all time.
And honestly,
it's saving grace.
so here's a real question. Nick remembers this game. We played the Wii Rampage game, the World Tour one.
Yeah.
They had like 100 and some odd fucking monsters. So you're telling me what monsters were there? We had so Lizzie wasn't a human, George wasn't a human, Ralph wasn't a human. Was Orklok the alien a human?
No, but there is a
I
space scene,
remember
I think,
all
at the
those
beginning of the
names.
movie.
The fact that you remembered all those names is hella impressive.
It's
Because
Gavin.
Lizzie's the
I
only
remember
one I
all of
remember.
the alien.
Oh, the alien's
I
in
can't-
World Tour, and
I
it's
can't
not even the
fact
right
check
one.
that.
I think his name's Frank.
There is a scene that I think it's the beginning of the movie where they're like testing out the new
George is the
virus or whatever
Ralph is the
on
wolf.
rats, and one rat takes it and basically tears through a space station.
So you're telling me they fucked up the story
Yeah, you know what? There's not a
for
sequel, so
for a storyless arcade.
it's a video game movie. I mean, they're making movies off of theme park rides right now, so
And they have more plot than you just described.
sorry.
Number 7. Dead or Alive.
DOA.
DOA. Really dumb, but fun martial arts movie. Tournament.
Good action.
Good
Bouncing
action.
boobs.
A lot of bouncy boob mechanics.
I was like, I haven't seen it, but I was when I was looking up, I read that it has one of the lowest body counts for a video game movie. Like almost nobody dies in it.
I don't know if anybody does now that
Yeah.
I think about it.
Yeah, like
They
usually.
get smacked around.
I remember
Like,
you and
usually
Rick were
video game-
obsessed with DOA for a while.
The game's a lot of fun.
Because I know video game movies
But I love fighting games.
have
so.
a tendency to rack up a body count real fucking quick,
Yeah, makes sense.
with a few exceptions, obviously.
Number 7.
Number 7.
Number 7, and now this one I actually did know what I was going to pick for this.
30 seconds later.
3 years later.
I was actually going to put Super Mario Bros. On here. I love the movie.
It's a great movie.
It is a good bad movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good bad movie.
A great good bad movie.
Yeah.
If one could say.
Yeah, great good bad. It's a great bad movie.
Great good.
Great bad.
It
I'm just not gonna say it. Right?
We're gonna watch it soon, Zach. It's
I know.
okay.
I do like. See, and I think part of the reason I like this is they went off the established lore so far that it became its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
This was in such development hell. The original script was actually really close to the games, but it got fucked around so many ways.
Really?
And yeah, you should watch the documentary on it. But we will watch the director's cut of it when we watch it.
Oh,
Zach.
yeah.
Get that extra bonus footage.
I'm sure that
Yay.
Super Mario Bros. Will be brought up later on one of our lists. Number 7, though. Lara Croft Tomb Raider. 2004-ish Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
You know, fun. Okay.
Back when she was hot.
This is about my bottom tier. 7 through 10 were the movies that I just threw on there to throw on there. I didn't mind Lara Croft Tomb Raider, but my top 6 are where things start getting spicy. So number 6.
I ranked it a little higher than you two did, but I put Uncharted there. If you want to know our opinion, our episode talking about Uncharted is coming out this week, so catch it on YouTube.
There we go. Number 6, Aaron.
Super Mario Brothers.
Damn, I thought it was going to be higher on your list.
It really could be, but my rankings kind of shifted a little.
Okay.
But I love this movie.
Yeah.
It is so bad
And
that
so
I love
fun.
it.
So number 6 for me, because we
Number 6.
for me, because of how little of these I've seen. Originally, we discussed only the live action ones, but I haven't seen many. So I'm going to put for my number 6 is Dead Space Downfall, which was the Dead Space movie that came out in
Was that the
2008.
first one or the second one?
That's the first one,
First
from my
one.
understanding.
Yeah, because Aftermath was the second one.
Yeah. I saw Aftermath 2, and I still think Downfall is far better than.
Oh yeah.
But it's a fun little movie. It's gory. It's Dead Space. It's manages to be creepy without being. No, it just does it very well. it does justice to the main story. It's a prequel to the first games, like what's happening before, like you just get the whole story for what the fuck happened.
Yeah.
What you get when you play the game, they just did very well with it, and it's my number 6.
Number 6, Mortal Kombat 1995. Zach
96.
kind of touched on it on Annihilation, huh?
I just said 96 to throw you off, but
Zach kind of touched on it with Annihilation. Most of us love Mortal Kombat. There are definitely flaws with those first 2 movies that came out in the 90s. Neither of them were perfect, but they were fun for what they were. I think this one was better than Annihilation, although I find the humor in Annihilation great. But yeah.
Yeah, Annihilation's legitimately just a bad movie, so it's fun.
it's a fun bad movie. It's a good,
It is a
good
fun.
bad movie.
Good, bad, fun, good, bad.
Exactly.
Number 5.
5. So with this one, I went with Warcraft. I don't have a lot of experience with.
I went Warcraft.
I don't have a lot of experience with the game itself, but I found this to be a really fun movie, and I was actually kind of interested in the lore behind everything, like all the teases they were giving. And I watched, I think it was Cinema Wins on YouTube, go over this movie. He mentioned a lot of like stuff the director alluded to in this film that would play a big part in any sequels that would potentially happen, which doesn't seem like they're going to happen, but...
I since we got the same one, I'm going to
Yeah,
talk
you
about
might
it.
as well just go for it.
I love the movie.
It's really well done.
It is really
For
well
a video
done.
game movie.
I think it's one of the
It
most.
looks really nice.
Yeah.
I think it is one of the most polished video game movies in we've gotten.
Let's add it to the list.
I personally like it because I do know a little bit of the lore. I did play the Warcraft games. If you ever played Dota, Dota actually was born from a mod on the original Warcraft games, and it has actually
I've played all the Warcraft games except World of Warcraft, the biggest.
I've played all of them, including World of Warcraft. I thought they stuck pretty well to the lore. I was able to be like, oh, I know what's gonna happen. Like I knew what was gonna happen, but they still made it. It was cool to watch. The cinematic was really, really.
Yeah, the trailers look beautiful. I never watched the movie.
I was like, it's a lot. It looks fucking gorgeous. They went all out. It reminds me of like like it's better than Beowulf's like animation. And I always thought Beowulf had a very good animation.
For the time.
For the time, it does not hold up now.
Warcraft makes Beowulf look like shit.
Beowulf makes Beowulf look like
Yeah,
shit
true.
now. When it came out, though, it did look really good.
Yeah.
Aaron, number 5.
Number 5, Street Fighter.
Number 5, Street Fighter.
Yeah. This one edged out Super Mario Bros. Just because, unlike Super Mario, this one has a little in common with the actual game. Not a whole lot, but Jean-Claude Van Damme, Raul Julia, also known as Mr. Adams from the Munsters. If you've seen that. Fun movie. Really over-the-top action-y. A lot of fun action for a Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot to say. Have you seen it?
No.
You're gonna. Nick,
I'm
any
fine
thoughts
with
on
that.
it?
I mean, you touched on most of it. I just thought it was super fun. I like Jean-Claude Van Damme, especially in the 80s and 90s. He was super. I liked his acting style a lot.
Super cheesy.
Yeah, and for a video game movie, this was probably the first video game movie that I watched as a kid that I actually enjoyed, that I had actually also played the video game of.
I think it came out in 94.
Yeah, something like that. Early 90s.
Yeah.
Now we're getting to the real meat and potatoes. Number 4, Zach.
Number 4, my lucky number, Mortal Kombat 1995.
Yeah.
I'm just going to touch on a little bit of what you already touched on. The story, a lot better than Annihilation.
Yeah.
Wasn't as cheesy. Loved all the actors. Scorpion Sub-Zero fight was... but...
Scorpion Sub-Zero fight. They don't fight in this movie.
Oh, that's right. That's the second one.
And
The
it was a
Scorpion-
terrible fight in the sequel.
Johnny Cage fight was kind of but overall it's just nostalgia for me.
Yeah.
This is probably one of the first rated R movies I watched as a kid.
That's PG-13.
It's PG-13.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why
All
there's
right,
no
I
fatalities.
just like this movie. It's a good movie.
It's good.
It's good.
Well, number 4 for me, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Hey! Number 4 for me, Sonic the
Yeah.
Hedgehog.
This got announced, looked like shit. They redid it, still looked like shit. I thought it was gonna
It'd
be shit.
Yeah.
Fine, bored at home one day. I'm like, what the hell? I'll put this on with my kiddo, and he wants to see it. And actually, enjoyable.
Yeah, it turned out, it was cuter than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it was not bad.
I wasn't sure what the fuck they were planning on doing,
Yeah.
but they did very well with what they did.
Yeah, with what they had to work with, being set in modern world,
And honestly,
it was good.
I like hearing that. Part of the reason I wanted to go see it is because I saw it in theaters back when I had the movie pass or whatever the fuck. And most of the reason I wanted to go see it was simply because of once they released the trailer and had so many people being like, we fucking hate how Sonic looks, they actually were like, okay, we'll fix it. And I kind of wanted to reward them for actually like listening to fans.
Yeah, they were smart with that, and it looked a lot better. Though,
And it did.
in honesty, I still kind of want to see that horrific Sonic.
I do too.
I want to see that unedited version released as like a bonus feature.
I do too.
Just to see the full thing with that hideous
I
creature.
want in the third movie for him to, like the Sonic that we got, to fight the original version of Sonic.
It could just be like a messed up clone that Robotnik makes.
Yeah.
A Bizarro clone.
Yeah, it'd be great.
I was like,
it'd actually be a good Easter egg.
I was honestly surprised. I thought Jim Carrey did decent as Robotnik.
He did okay.
He did better than I was expecting him to do.
Yeah, I still don't think he was right for the role completely, but he did okay.
Yeah.
It was good enough. I'm excited for the sequel.
I am as well.
Tails and Knuckles will be cool to see.
Idris Elba again as yet another animal.
Huh?
I'll eventually watch it.
Yeah, I mean,
It's. I was like, you love Sonic. You love
you
Sonic.
need to just to see Sonic 2, because Sonic 2 is going to have a lot of Sonic 2 the game Easter eggs.
Yeah.
They've been talking that up, so...
Oh yeah. And they're gonna have because this movie, honestly, is more like a prequel. Like it's the first movie, but
I don't know what the hell it is, but it was enjoyable.
Yeah, but it's kind of setting up why Robotnik is the way he is, and then setting up why Sonic is doing this and setting this stuff up because Sonic in the movie is younger. And so it's more so I think 2 will make a lot more sense.
Good.
But
Number 4.
Number 4 for me, we've already heard it a couple times. Super Mario Bros.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so far from the source
For
material.
putting it that high.
I actually enjoy it, man. This is a movie that I have watched a few times in my life. I think
I've seen
Again,
it a dozen times.
it is a bad good movie.
Yeah.
Nowhere near the source material. I think John Leguizamo as Luigi is actually pretty fucking cool.
I thought Luigi was one of the standouts in that movie, honestly.
Because John Leguizamo.
He was. That was at his peak.
I am a sucker for bad good movies. Movies that are so bad that you end up loving them.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what this movie is. And I will watch it. I will show it to my kid. And
I'm not showing this to my kid.
You've seen this though.
I've been
Once.
forced to watch it like 3 times.
3 times. Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
I personally
now we could watch the riff tracks if that'll make it easier on you.
Just do whatever you want. Whether it's the director's cut, the riff tracks, the original version.
We can do both.
personally, I thought the set pieces of that movie were really well done.
The world building was good.
The Goombas were
I
hilarious.
think my biggest problem was how far they went.
Yeah, it has nothing in common with the games.
No, but
Other
also
than
to be
the
fair,
names.
what the fuck does Super Mario Bros. Have? Like, they could have done like the straight up, just trying to save Princess Peach.
Bowser could have been a flame-throwing turtle with
That is
spikes.
true.
Not a slick-haired lawyer that happens to be descended from a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Fuck yeah.
Nail on the head right there.
I thought it was cool as fuck.
Oh no, I'm with you. I love this movie. but
Holy
I
shit! Do you know what?
understand where Zach's
Do you know what it
coming
just made me
from.
think of? He reminds me of the boy from the Monsters movie I made you guys watch.
Oh boy.
Little monsters.
Little Monsters.
Yeah, from Little Monsters.
Yeah, he's a grown-up version of boy.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Alright.
Zachary, number 3.
Sonic the Hedgehog. I really liked Ben Schwartz as Sonic. James Marsden was a great addition to the cast.
Yeah, they
I
do.
love Jim Carrey as Robotnik.
Yeah.
I think he's going to go even more into the Robotnik role with this next film.
It definitely looks
I think
like
so,
that.
yeah.
I like how he has the classic look again.
Yeah.
I also hope that he puts on tons of weight to really get that Robotnik look.
Get that egg shape.
If they get him in that egg shape, I would love that.
I do like how this does feel like a prequel to the games. Like it could get closer and closer to the games. Sequel looks like it's more in the worlds of Sonic. I just liked it.
Yeah, I like all the cast. Like, Jim Carrey just didn't nail it for me because he's just over the top goofy.
Yeah.
And
just
Robotnik
Jim Carrey.
is.
It is.
He's cartoony, but he's supposed to be menacing. If you ever saw the old cartoon, not Sonic 2 the cartoon, which was really dumbed down for little kids, but the original cartoon was like a rated R kind of cartoon. It's not, but it was very dark. You had like Sonic's friends getting turned into robots, and there was deaths, and Robotnik's got these glowing red eyes. He was menacing.
I think I
For a
do
little
remember
kid.
seeing a few episodes of that.
It was a really good show back in the day. And then they had the Sonic 2, which was just goofy clowning and really PG-ified for
Yeah.
parents. But the original cartoon, it was just dark. So in my head, that's Robotnik from my childhood and playing the games. So having the goofier hijinks bonk in his head kind of just... I know why they did it, where they're going, and he fits that role. But for me, I look at that older, grittier cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
Number.
Because that was good. But
Number 3.
oh, it's my turn.
Yeah.
Number 3, Mortal Kombat 95.
Hey, that's my number 3 too.
Hey. For the longest time, this was my number 1 video game adaptation. Overall, it sticks pretty close to the original game, with many liberties taken, but a lot of them for the better. This is where we got Kano being an Australian. In the original game, he was Chinese American.
Yep.
After this movie, he's Australian.
This
Due to
is
Trevor Goddard's performance.
what I imagine not Shang-Chi, Shang-Tsung.
Shang Tsung.
And it's really late. Main character.
Liu Kang.
Liu Kang. I imagine the 2 actors who played those
Yeah.
roles
Yeah.
in this movie. I think Mortal Kombat 11 did a really good job bringing
Mhm.
Shang Tsung's actor back
Yeah,
to
from
do the
this
voice
movie.
for the DLC.
Yeah, I love that. Kerry
Um,
Tagawa.
Until the last, say, 3 years, This was my number one too.
Yeah, I always brought this up in these conversations of, movie games are always terrible, and I'd be like, Mortal Kombat nails it.
It
was
does.
the pinnacle.
I agree. It was.
And I am biased because I'm such a Mortal Kombat fan, but it really was good. A few things wrong with it. But overall, it sticks really good, has a good narrative, good art. There's comedy. Johnny Cage was really good.
Nick showed,
love all the actors.
Nick showed me this for the first time. I was older. It was after a series of unfortunate events in like Aragon and.
Okay, so yeah.
So, and some of the other earlier like, it was the first video game movie I watched. I was like, wow,
yeah,
that was good.
And then it sets you up for a world of failure.
And then, Mortal Kombat Annihilation on the cover poster art, it just says destroy all expectations. Going into the movie, I didn't realize they meant like my expectations for a good movie. But that's what they were warning me of.
Yeah.
Destroy all expectations.
I love it. I actually go back and watch it pretty frequently.
I watched both.
It's a good movie.
I'm a huge fan of the Goro fight. I was like, I know it looks goofy with the claymation, but they did really a
what they
really
had
good
to work
job.
with.
I assume it looks even cheesier though.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I agree. And I really like overall the fight choreography, especially for being a PG-13 movie. Good fast-paced action on a lot of the fights. Love the reptile fight. I could go on this for hours, so I'll just end my thoughts there.
Number 3, Need for Speed.
Never saw this one.
Fast.
I know they had
I've not
Aaron
seen it
Paul
either.
in it.
I think I might have been the only one in here that's seen this movie.
You are?
I've played some of the Need for Speed games. Not one of my favorite video game series, but I really do like Aaron Paul. And this was like a kind of toned down, or it kind of reminded me like the original Fast and the Furious, but more toned down. And I just found it really enjoyable. I've watched it a few times since the first time I seen it. I kind of wish I had seen it in theaters, but I actually super enjoy it. Again, I'm not going off of the source material super heavily with this one because I didn't play a whole lot of Need for Speed, but I think for what it is, it's a super fun
Not that
movie.
there's an overarching story.
Sure.
Or
I
anything.
did catch the end of this movie now that I'm thinking of it. I think our friend Braden had it on one day when we all lived together, and I just walked in and watched the end of it with him. Looked like it could be interesting, but
Yeah, I mean,
if it made it this high on your list, I'll probably give it a shot.
I was like, I'll be honest.
maybe I'll know my movie bookie for a couple weeks from now.
there you go.
If I'm being honest, I'm not a huge racing fan.
Yeah,
like,
I'm not.
racing movie fan, so I didn't watch it. I'm not even a really big racing game fan. That said, love the Need for Speed games. I
Yeah.
just
Like
but,
the old ones.
yeah, and those ones didn't really have a fucking like storyline at all.
No.
So I was like,
And if they did, I never played it.
Yeah, my favorite one was the one where you could play as the cops. The most
Hot
wanted
Pursuit was the
Hot
first
Pursuit,
one.
Yeah. So I haven't watched it. Mostly because, again, they're just not my kind of movies usually. Maybe I should check it out if your rating is so high. But then again,
Yeah, that's makes me wonder, so I'll probably check it out at some point.
that's a good thing about these lists.
Yeah.
We'll watch new movies.
Change our rankings a little, perhaps.
Number 2.
Oh, 2.
I was doing a hashtag. Number 2.
That's a 4.
Mortal Kombat 2021.
Mortal Kombat 2021.
Mortal Kombat 2021.
This movie, while it does have a few faults, destroyed expectations.
In the right way this
In
time.
the right way.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
No.
The new additional character, not well received by this group. Very bland.
Unnecessary.
I see what they're trying to do with it as a framing device for the audience.
I
We
don't.
didn't need it. At least us hardcore fans didn't need it.
Which is who the movie should
okay.
have been made for.
Hold on that. Johnny Cage could have been that framing device for somebody that's never played the games. What's the difference? He's somebody pulled into this
Isekai! Isekai!
How is that different? Either way, they don't know who Cole is. What's the point?
I know they're changing a bunch of plot points with this movie being a prequel as it is.
Yeah.
But I think the newer character is probably gonna take more of a side role in the newly
Fingers
announced second
crossed.
movie. Johnny Cage will be our eyes and ears as the audience.
Because he
in
has
this
to
new
now get
world.
pulled into this and be the framing device for
Yeah.
a new audience. The exact same role, but a better character.
But overall, I thought the fights were awesome.
Yeah.
I was a little bit mad that one of my favorite characters died in this movie, but it's Mortal Kombat. She can come back.
Yeah.
they're gonna
Casting
have
was phenomenal.
I've talked about the casting a lot, even on previous episodes.
Yeah.
Actual martial artists, professional fighters, are the right choice for a movie that's entirely about fighting.
Yeah,
They did it right with
that.
fucking Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan. Why did it take them so long to do it for Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, we have let's see here, Joe Taslim as Sub-Zero.
And he
What's
is
my favorite?
awesome.
Hiroyuki Sanada as Scorpion.
And both of them kicked, and they were
Louis-
probably the standouts.
They were.
Ludi Lin as Liu Kang. Max Hung as Kung Lao.
I loved
Wow.
Kano in it.
Yeah, he was fun.
Yeah, Kano was played by Josh Lawson.
This was actually a real debate for me for my number 2 and my number 1.
Same.
This was my hardest
Same.
decision.
I had this at number 1 for a while. The reason it bumped down to
Cole.
2 was Cole.
Yeah, 100%.
If he was not there and Johnny had him, this would have swept everything out of the water and been a perfect number 1 for me. My number 1 is better fitting because it doesn't have that big of a hole
Yeah,
that Cole turned into for me in this movie.
yeah, but I mean,
I'm starting to wonder if we have the same number one.
think-
I think we
We
all
did.
have the exact same one.
but you are,
There's
but
no
you are
doubt
right.
at this point.
It's beautifully done. The first fight that you really get to see is
Oh, yeah.
the Scorpion
Yeah.
before he has his
Before
armor
he's
on.
the demon.
Before he has his demon powers.
Yeah, and watching
He's
him
just
fight.
That was
ninja.
such a perfect
And-
intro too.
And,
Yeah.
and having his weapon just be a garden trowel,
Yeah.
that was fucking cool. Like,
The fatalities.
And then
Yeah. Thank God it was rated R.
yes.
I cannot rave enough over that Sub-Zero Scorpion fight in this movie.
Yo,
That was so
stand
perfect.
out.
He did an
That's
ice
awesome.
clone.
Yeah.
I was so excited when I first saw
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And he was awesome as Sub-Zero.
yeah. I think this.
And I'm not even a big Sub-Zero fan.
I love Sub-Zero.
He was awesome.
I think
Yeah.
this
Such a good
cracked
martial
all
artist.
of our at least top 5s in our 2021 movies that we did
Mhm.
at the beginning of the year.
Oh, yeah.
I love the movie. I for some reason I heard a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's not that good of a movie," but
Yeah,
I thought it
it's
was.
got its haters.
Get good.
But it's a lot.
Good
But
clowns.
it's
Yeah, Cole is by far the weakest link in this movie, and he takes up such a chunk of it.
Yeah.
It really brings it.
and he does get a cool fatality with the
Yeah.
Goro or Kintaro. I can't remember.
It's
which one.
Goro.
It
And I
cracked
did
my
not
top
like
10.
Goro.
It cracked my top 10.
And he wasn't horrible. Like, I don't hate Cole.
No.
I just think he was so unnecessary that it drops the movie down.
Because you have so many characters that could have been the
I
framing
was like,
device.
they could have just framed it with Liu Kang and Kung Lao and been fucked.
You could have framed
fine.
it with mocap. It would have been alright.
would have
Or Havoc.
It would have sucked, but I'd take it over Cole.
Or Striker.
Havoc, Striker.
We don't need invented characters to introduce the audience to these characters.
And again, I get it that the director wanted to make it like partially his.
Yeah, but he did that in other ways and could have just done
Yeah.
those.
Either way, I'm happy we're getting a sequel.
Yeah, thank
Yes.
God.
I'm happy this didn't become Power Rangers, I think 2017.
Yeah.
Which should have got a sequel.
Should have.
Oh, do you know what other fight was really good in that movie? The one with Sonya and Kano with her in the fucking.
Yeah.
All the fights.
All the
were
fights
All the
were
fights
good.
were amazing, but I was just kind of thinking, I was
And Goro's CG wasn't great.
no better than claymation.
God, I should have brought that up when we were talking about Uncharted. We rushed through it too quick. That was one of my biggest issues with that movie.
CGI.
Goro.
Oh, it looked
It did look
was
horrible.
Was it okay?
I don't even usually notice CGI in movies, and it started off so bad.
Like, even the flare that
Yeah.
he threw just looked so cartoony, and its lighting was so bad.
Okay, we'll just say number 1 at the same time. If anybody says something different, I guess we'll have something to talk about. So 3, 2, 1. Number 1,
Barbie.
Detective Pikachu.
Damn it.
Did you say Barney?
Barney?
I said Barbie.
Oh.
No, Detective Pikachu.
There is a Barbie game and it does actually kick ass.
Yeah.
Only you, Gavin.
It does. It legit was Indiana Jones.
Detective Pikachu, number 1.
This
sticks really close to the source. It's got Ryan Reynolds.
Yes.
I got the cast.
The effects are great.
Joseph Smith, Catherine Newton, Bill Nye.
I do.
Ken
Bill
Watanabe.
The science guy?
No, Bill Nighy. There we go.
I was like, oh damn. I like
Ken Watanabe.
I wish there was more Pokemon fights.
Yeah.
Could have used that.
Especially like seeing Charizard was cool. Like seeing all the Pokemon was really cool, but I would have liked to see a little more flexing of like how powerful. Like I would have liked to see Tyranitar or
Dragonair.
Dragonair.
Hundreds of Pokemon people would have liked to have
Oh
seen.
yeah,
Onyx.
I think
They
this
did
movie-
good.
I think they got about 60 different Pokemon in this movie.
Make a cameo,
they did
yeah.
fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
And again, I like seeing all the ones I saw. I just wish I saw like because we got Charizard using the big fire breath.
Mhm.
It would have been cool to have Dragonair use like a Hyper Beam or have like Haunter or Gengar like.
There's so many things they could have done with this movie.
Yes.
But this movie, like, the story was top notch.
Yeah.
The special effects, the way the Pokemon looked, like, there's some Pokemon that I didn't realize who'd have fur, that had fur, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
they
this
did really good
looks
representing them
awesome.
in a realistic way.
I left this movie in tears the first time I saw it. I was just so happy. It brought me right back into Pokemon because growing up, I kind of started moving away from it a little bit. Stopped playing the newer games. Stopped collecting cards. I dove hardcore right back into it after that.
Those event packs we got.
Yeah, we kind of left the theater with a few boxes of the cards.
And then we
I
went
have
to
all
Walmart.
but one of the cards for that set.
We went to Walmart after that, and then we just ended up buying a shit ton more.
Oh yeah, we got so many of the Detective Pikachu packs.
Yeah, I agree with everything you say. The biggest thing that I loved about this was just seeing these Pokemon in like a real life world, and that was my favorite part.
Yeah.
Every time a new Pokemon came up, it was awesome, and they got their tendencies right. That's what I loved most. Like you don't get to see how every Pokemon is in the video games, but you have an idea in your head about how these Pokemon would act, and they nailed that in this movie.
Oh yeah.
Just the opening when they're in that field and they pull the Pokeball out for the first time and it expands. I just lost it right there, and then he throws it at a Cubone.
Yeah.
This is what video game movies should be.
Yeah, exactly.
This Mortal
Absolutely.
Kombat. What was number 3 on my list? Sonic. This is top tier video game movies.
They're
right
finally
agree.
turning around.
Yeah.
I don't have just Mortal Kombat 1995
So
to
thi-
go by anymore.
Because there's other games I would love to see movies made out of. It just worries
And
me.
that topic I might bring up in a small capacity in our video game episode this week. So catch it.
Okay, because I was gonna say I'd love to see God of War as a movie.
It's coming up on another episode.
I know I'm shutting the fuck up.
But I feel like the video game movie genre is finally crossing that line that the superhero genre crossed a few years ago, 2008, with Iron Man, and the X-Men movies previous to that. It's finally getting to that where they're accepting how the games are and interpreting it that way, other than trying to remake the games more
they're
realistic.
getting better and better. Couple more years, they'll be there.
Till they release Uncharted, and they set the whole thing back.
Half a year.
But they didn't set it back in certain ways.
They could still do a sequel and probably recover it a little bit.
They could. We'll see. But they could. But it is exciting. But we'll talk about
It even
what we want to
occurred to
see.
me that our top 2 would all be the same. I didn't even think about that.
I figured that 2021 Mortal Kombat would be up there for everybody, but I didn't know if Detective Pikachu would be up there for everybody.
It was just so gorgeous and it was spot on, staying true to the source material for Detective
These
Pikachu.
are both movies that I'm mad at myself for not getting the steelbooks for.
Wow.
You better get on that.
I probably will, actually.
Speaking of movies, if you want somebody who reviews movies and all kinds of forms of entertainment, you can follow Zach on TikTok and Instagram and Twitter at
Film Beast.
Speaking of video games,
TikTok
if you want
as
to
well.
watch somebody who plays video games, check out Gavin's Twitch and TikTok at
Boopity Games.
Hell yeah. As for all of us,
Been
as a
playing
cl-
Nio until Friday. Anyway, well, until the
Oh,
25th.
yeah. I forgot. As for all four of us, thank you guys so much for watching. Let us know what your favorite video game movie is down below in the comments. If you enjoyed anything that you watched today, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button.
Check that bell button too.
This is going to be, once we finally get D&D going, we will have 5 episodes a week, which will be cool. We can release an episode Monday through Friday with this new list thing that we're doing. So
shotgun blast of content to the face.
just stay tuned. We're gonna keep cranking out content. We're gonna keep having fun, and we're gonna keep getting better. I think that going back and watching the first episode we did compared to now, there's a big difference, not only in the quality of the video, but
The equipment we use.
how we're all becoming more familiar with all this. So thank you guys for growing with us and watching with us. Those of you that watch, we will be back next week with more content, so stay tuned for that. And it is
Time to split. Time to split.